Very good. Did anybody try to figure out what heredity means? Did anybody try to figure it out? Yes, Crystal?
It means that it's something that can be passed on from generation.
Very good. We're passing on traits from generation to generation. Any other similarities? Any other similarities that you did? Okay, now, one of the things you had in the paper was the fact that you needed to tell us what interface is. So is that going on the similarity or differences?
Differences.
So who can tell me what interface is? Yes, Connor?
The part of the cell during which the cell is occupied.
You all agree with him? Yeah? You want to add something? Yes?
During interface, the cell carries on normal processes.
Of growth, right? Of growth and metabolism. Yes, what do you want to add, Venkat?
Interface has three parts, and in the first one, the organelles start to duplicate.
Very good. So that's why they duplicate the organ. Because what? First of all, why is it doing this during interphase? Can anybody tell me why? Yes, Pia? To prepare the cell for what?
For mitosis.
What is mitosis?
The replication of
For the division of the nucleus into how many cells?
Two.
Two daughter cells. So if we have only one, which guy is going to take the organelles? So it has to replicate all the organelles. Okay. So she just defined mitosis. So under which section are we going to put the mitosis?
Under mitosis.
Under mitosis. Very good. Now, Libby had already told us that cytokinesis is a part of the cell cycle, right?
Yes.
Where do we place it in our comparison charts?
Nowhere on the bottom.
Nowhere we place it in the bottom because it is different from
Both of them.
interphase and mitosis. And it is it the first phase of the cell cycle or the second or the last phase?
It's the last phase.
It's the last phase. Very good.
It's not in mitosis.
No, it's not. It is. That's why it doesn't. You see, that is why we say write it at the bottom. Okay. So now, who can tell me? Somebody already said it, but I'm going to ask. Who can tell me the function of mitosis and where do we write that? Under interface of mitosis.
Under mitosis.
Mitosis. Okay, Shaya.
Mitosis.
The function. What is the function?
The function of mitosis is to replace lost cells to help us grow and develop.
Very good. The key words are to grow and to repair. So the cell divides so that if you bruise your skin today, how do you think you're going to repair the skin cells?
Mitosis.
By mitosis. How did you think? You were born like this, right? How are you now 4 feet tall? Or, yeah? Go ahead. I can't hear you.
Isn't that the same thing as like dividing cells into two separate?
Yes, it's dividing the cell. If I have one thing and I divide it, now how many do I have?
Two.
And if those two divide, how many do I have?
4.
If the 4 divide, how many do I have?
8.
That's how you grow. As the number of cells start to increase, then you can get it bigger. Yes, it's the division of one cell into 2 daughter cells. Question. If the cell divides into 2 daughter cells, is the DNA of the 2 daughter cells the same or are they different?
Same.
Why are they same? Matthew, put yourself in the way. Why are they the same?
Because they come from the same parent cell.
Because it is the same DNA that was replicated during the S phase of the interphase. Okay? So yes, that is what happens. So, what is the function of interphase then? Libby?
The function of interface.
Speak out please so the rest can hear you. You should be making sure if you don't have these things on your paper. That is why we're doing this chart, to make sure that you can distinguish what part of the cell cycle occurs during mitosis, which occurs during interphase, and which occurs during cytokinesis. Go ahead.
Preparing the cell for mitosis.
Prepares the cell for mitosis. How? Yes, Pia?
By making it bigger.
The cell grows and becomes bigger. What else happens, Venkat? His mouth is full. The DNA copies itself. Take that thing out of your mouth. Yes, and what else happens?
All the structures in the cell replicate to form the new cell.
All the cells replicate in preparation for the division. What else happens? Can you tell me what else happens during the G2 phase? What happens? Anybody remember what happens during the G2 phase? Some other person? Yes, Venkat? Very good. The cell is going to need all the energy, chemical reactions during division. So during the G2, the cell produces the enzyme. So if you do not have this information on your paper, go ahead and add them. The reason we're having this discussion is for you to make sure you have the right information. Those of you who haven't done it, go ahead, answer those questions. Take from what the other students have done. Okay, now, yes?
What does the enzyme do?
Enzymes are the biological molecules that speed up chemical reaction. So the division is going to require chemical reactions. So that's what the enzymes are made for. Now, we know that mitosis has 3 stages or phases, whichever I call it. Who can tell me, the next question is, no, let's go to 11, we'll take it in order. Any question about all the stuff, numbers 1 to 10? Any question?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you better ask now. Okay, yeah?
So you said that cytokines is not version. So you just put make it a different value.
At the very bottom. Because we want you to know that it's the very last one. That's why they put the chart there. Okay? Okay. So, what are sister chromatids? Speak out so the rest can hear you so that they can write down. What we are doing here is not just Q&A, it's for the rest of the students who have not. Come on in and help yourself.
What are they doing?
They are walking down the street and eating their strawberries and stuff like that. So, the reason we're going through this is for those of you who have not put the information in, to get the information from the others who have done it and write it down, okay? So you should be writing it down. Go ahead.
It's a duplicated
It's
chromosome.
a duplicate of the original chromosome, right? So, please make sure when you draw or you answer the question, where do we place the definition of sister chromatids? Yes? Similarities, because both interphase and mitosis have sister chromatids. They are the second copy, exact copy, duplicated chromosomes. Okay, are they extended out or are they condensed to be short forms?
Condensed.
Very good. So this is where you need to put a picture. Where are the 2 sister chromatids held together?
The centromere.
Very good. So they are held at the center. I'm glad you guys remember that. Held at the center. This is very important because they all contain the same gene. There are special proteins right here, the kinetochores, but you don't need to remember the kinetochores. So they're held right there at the centromere because that is very important. Will, you scared me. Come into the class, Will. So they're held together. It is very important that these sister chromatids exist. As she said, they are exactly the duplicate of the original chromosome. So that when the cell divides into 2, each of the daughter chromosome has identical DNA, right?
Yes.
Very good. So does this make sense to you why twins, we call them identical twins? Does it make any sense?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah?
They have like the
they have the same genetic material because it's one cell containing the same DNA that is split up into two. So mitosis happens, and then they become two babies. Okay. Now, question 12. What are the phases of interphase? First of all, where do we place that? We place it under interphase, right? Very good. So the phases. Matthew, you want to try the phases of mitosis? You remember?
No.
Okay. Michelle? Try. Okay. Andres? G1, very good. S, very good. So the three phases of interphase are G1, G2, S, and G2. G stands for gap1. S stands for synthesis. So in your notes, make sure you put that information. Because if we ask you, what does G really stand for? G stands for gap1 because that is the time between cell division. Interphase in between the division of the cell. So gap1 is when the cell grows and becomes very big. So I need you to add this. Go back to the video, but I want you to add it to your notes that during gap1, the cell grows, organelles
Replicate.
replicate. Okay? So that's what happens during the G1 phase. Now, during the S phase, as you all know, called the synthesis phase,
The DNA replicates.
don't just speak out. I always told you raise your hand because of the rest of the students in class. So, the S phase, very good. The DNA replicates. What does it mean to replicate? What does it mean to replicate? Make a copy of itself. So it copies itself. Makes another copy. Okay? And what happens during the G2, which is gap2? Somebody already told me the cells does what? Living? Very good. Enzyme. Again, those of you who haven't done this, the reason we're doing this, please write it in your notes. You know you're turning this in on the 7th when you come back. I don't want you to come back and say, I couldn't do it. I don't have it because I didn't know what to do. That's why we're going through this. I know you don't plan, so enzymes are made. And the cell prepares for mitosis. Okay, now, we've answered this question, but I'm going to ask you again. What is mitosis, Jay? Is it a division of the cell or is it a division of the nucleus? Very good. Remember this, mitosis is really the division of the nucleus. So who can tell me, we have an acronym for the phases of mitosis. Who wants to tell me the acronym? Somebody who has an Anna? What is the acronym for the phases? Because our next question is, what are the phases of mitosis? So what is the acronym? We'll start with the acronym. Anna? Spell it out for me. Okay, speak out so we can hear you, Anna. You all agree with her?
Yes.
Very good. So the phases of mitosis are P, MAT. And the next question is, so make sure you put that. You just write your PMAT. What does P stand for?
Prophase.
Okay, prophase. What does M stand for?
Metaphase.
Very good. What does A stand for?
Anaphase.
Very good. And what does T stand for?
Telophase.
Okay, so again, for those of you, telophase, excuse me. So for those of you who have not completed that section, please make sure when it says what are the phases of mitosis, write your PMAT and make sure you know what PMAT is. Now, what you're required to do for the next 4 questions, you must have diagrams, right?
Yeah.
And they're all going under interphase or mitosis.
Mitosis.
Mitosis. So this is where you are going to describe what happens during prophase, what happens during metaphase, thank you, what happens during anaphase, and what happens during telophase. Without me writing on the board, for those of you who have done it, I need 4 volunteers to raise their hands so that you will now go to the board and you're going to tell me what happens with telophase, anaphase or prophase, and you're going to draw a small diagram so that the rest of your classmates who have not done it can put the information in. So I'm going to have Crystal, I'm going to have Michelle, you're going to do prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Okay? Go ahead, come to the board. You have enough space to do that. You will pick so that those of you who haven't done it, they're going to give you a brief description. I don't want, remember, the purpose of this comparison is to use short notes so that, here, somebody can have this, I'll give you. Don't worry, I'll give you. So, no, you have to, are you anaphase?
Yeah.
So you have to come here. Yeah, so you are first, okay? Go ahead, I'll give you guys shopping. Yeah, so you're last. So those of you who have not done your notes, please go ahead and put the information that they're going to give you.
It doesn't work properly. You're supposed to write it down. I know.
Right? Just tell me briefly what happened. Everybody has a shopping here. Okay. It's yours, right?
No, it was.
Who needs a shopping? Everybody has one? Okay. So please, remember that they are in order. Prophase. That's fine. So long as you know. Are you sleeping? You are. You need to be paying attention to that. Writing it down. We're saving you the trouble of having to leave at home, right? Okay. Go ahead. Where's your paper, Matthew? You were not here yesterday. He was on the table. He was supposed to. You're here, please. Sit down then. Yes, please.
How does one sleep?
You know, is Joseph sleeping this morning? Come on. Uh-huh. Huh? And shorten. So you see, if I had a long rope and you see a slinky and I push it together, I come then. I love that friend there.
Why'd you erase them?
Good job.
Well, it's 2, but because they're not 2.
No, you are telophase. You're not doing anaphase. Somebody has done anaphase.
I already did it.
You don't do anaphase. Why did you erase her anaphase?
Sorry.
You don't do anaphase.
I know.
She
He's writing it, he's telling me. I'll erase it.
No, can you go back and fix it, please? No, you do that. You see, you're supposed to draw it. Draw it properly. You haven't finished. The chromosomes all have to, and the nucleus has to form back. Okay? Remember that it is going. No. It's going to be similar to this, except the 2. It's similar to this. And then here, the nuclear membrane starts to disintegrate, right?
Yeah.
The nuclear membrane starts to disintegrate. You need to add something. Don't the centroids form? So the centroids start to show up, right? You still have your cell membrane surrounding it, right? Right, Crystal? So you have your centroids. And what else starts to form? the spindles, right?
Yes.
The fibers start to appear. So the chromatin in the nucleus of a cell condenses, okay? Centrioles appear, right? And mitotic spindles form. Okay? Very good. Here good job, but they are now called the sister chromatids. Okay? So the sister chromatids line up in the, let's check your spelling, Michelle,
Yeah,
in the middle or equator of the cell. And you see, we want to make sure that what do? We show the separation, but it looks as if you are still in metaphase, right? That is where they're going to, you have to show your centrioles here, okay? And the spindles are attached, pulling the chromosomes away, right? Am I right or wrong?
Right.
So it's pulling the chromosomes away from each other. And on the opposite side, we do not have the cleavage furrow forming yet. It's still one cell. So we do not have the cleavage furrow. So you have the sister chromatids being pulled aside. Go to your seat. Okay, check your corrections. Those of you who did the drawing, make sure you correct yourself. Okay, so you see now the separation, chromatids, and we want to say chromatids, not teens, okay? So the chromatids separate, which is correct. And here, what we have, where's the, okay? So what we have is that in the animal cell, you see the formation of the cleavage furrow, okay? The cleavage furrow starts to form. The daughter cells appear at this point with the chromatids inside. They have arrived here. The nuclear membrane starts to form, and you start seeing the cleavage furrow. But that is going to happen finally in cytokinesis. Okay? Are you okay?
Yeah. You alright? Good?
And then, so nuclear group reappears. Very good. Centrals disappear. They'll disappear, right?
Yeah.
So they disappear. What else disappears? The mitotic spindles, right?
Yeah.
Mitotic spindles disappear too. And cleavage furrow forms. Okay? So, have we reached the end of the cell cycle?
No.
So who can tell me what happens after telophase? Here? Cytokinesis. Does it go into mitosis or interphase? No. It is on its own, and you have defined it. So this is when, if I were you, I'll take my worksheet and I will draw the picture of, I'll draw the picture of cytokinesis. So let's try this and see. And you will tell me whether this is cytokinesis in plant cell or animal cell. Is this cytokinesis in plant cell or animal cell?
Plant cells.
Plant cell.
Why? Because of the formation of the cell plates, right? The cell wall cannot constrict. Now the chromosomes are in form of chromatin. This is where you're going to point out to yourself that there is a difference between cytokinesis in plant cells and animal cells. This tells you that this is plant cytokinesis because there's no similarity there. Hmm? What? No, you do on them. Everything that doesn't fall into those two. I want you to see the difference. Can I erase this now? No. Okay? So now, with a plant cell, let's look at the animal cell, how it's different. You remember the animal cell does not have a cell wall, right? It is surrounded by a plasma membrane. So it is flexible, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to see that the cell is going to divide from each other, and after a while you're going to see the two daughter cells separate completely. You will have your nucleus, you have your mitochondria, the organelles, the DNA is in the center, you have your Golgi apparatus right here, you have your endoplasmic reticulum, you have the same thing here, nucleus with the nucleolus, you have your organelles, vacuoles, Golgi apparatus right here. You have your ribosomes and so on and so forth. And so, at the end of the day, how many daughter cells did you produce? 2 daughter cells. Okay? We will now. I'm going to go back to my paper now. Any questions so far up to mitosis and cytokinesis? Okay, there is no question. The last page, that is question 18 we have answered. What is the main difference? It doesn't go under mitosis, it doesn't go under interphase, it goes at the bottom because it's cytokinesis. Okay, I know I had some repetition and I asked you some questions. Now you're going to answer the rest of the questions for me. During what stage of the cell cycle does the cell spend most of its time?
Interface.
You're going to raise your hand like every other person, please. Okay? Venkat? Okay, so where do I place that? Interface. What percentage? 90%. So you write 90% on the interface. Okay. Does anybody remember the 3 checkpoints? Okay, go write them on the board. Okay.